Hell, I'm so sleepy, but I just can't give it up right now. I got something to prove. So listen, y'all, I wanted to get on here. This is Double Life Part 2. I wanted to get on here and see if I could find anything about normal men living a double life in the world here. Normal men living a double life. What kind of man lives a double life? I'm on Google. The urge to live a double life usually stems from deep psychological issues. The person views part of their personality as shameful and cannot reconcile with their own self. For example, their compulsive urge to steal conflicts with their desire to be seen as a good person. What percentage of men live a double life? Recent studies show that 70% of all males and 50% of all females will have an extramarital affair at some point during their marriage. This information suggests that most people will eventually lead a double life. I'm telling y'all, mostly every damn man I didn't live a double life. What are the consequences to living a double life? You lose your primary life. Living a secret life can cause people to behave in ways that are out of character. They often go to desperate lengths to hide their double life. A double life demands so much vigilance and attentiveness and time and energy invested in concealing their secret life. Is anybody living a double life? Because I found something that says living a double life. 8 ways to stop living a double life. Okay. What does a double life mean? Everyone has secrets. Life can seem manageable as long as we can control our secrets. However, when those secrets start to control us, they turn into a secret or a double life. A double life is one that causes you to behave in ways that are out of character. Double life versus private life. A private life is one you choose not to share with others, especially when detail of your life and perceived as intimate, and sharing them would make you feel vulnerable. A double life, on the other hand, entails deceit of some form rather than choosing to keep details about your life to yourself. How does a double life or a secret life look like? Anything that seems out of character. Anything. A seemingly good husband could have a porn addiction. I don't call that a double life. Hell, I might just... Oh, let me shut up. A rich woman could be compulsively engaging in shoplifting. A seemingly ordinary nanny could be a drug addict. A seemingly happy husband could have a second home on the other side of town. How living a double life can affect you. I read that part. Often the secret life becomes the dominant one, and everything else becomes secondary and irrelevant. These people ain't lying. Let me find out who I'm on. But losing one's life is not the only consequence. 2. Internal conflict, the stress of living a double life. The secret can become an intrusive thought similar, just as with trying not to think about a pink elephant. The harder you try not to think about the secret, the more you think about it. Confession is good for the soul is an old adage that reflects importance of courage of revealing secrets. Often people start living in fear, sometimes paranoia, that finds out about the secret life with possibility of discover being played out again and again in their minds. The psychological behind living a double life, why people live a double life. Secrets are an important way to maintain separateness. as an individual and create intimacy with those we choose to share our secrets with. It's what we call having a private life. However, secrets can become significant that they don't fit into the identity we present to the world anymore. And the great secret, the greater the conflict. This conflict manifests in a deep desire to reveal the secret and find relief while at the same time fearing its exposure. Something keeping a secret is a choice of luxury. Other times it has life or death consequences. Telling your family that you're homosexual can lead to 17 hours. Telling your family that you're homosexual can lead to understanding and acceptance or else rejection. Put simply, a double life begins when the conflict between the need to reveal and the need to conceal the secret remains unsolved. Not all secrets are created equal. Malignant secrets. An executive who finds his secretary attractive probably doesn't need to share that with his wife. When the secret grows bigger and creates conflict, it might spread and create a secret or a double life. When the executive begins to ask when the executive begins to ask the secretary out for lunch and starts confiding in her home, in her some intimacies, and that he never shared with his wife, that secret becomes malignant. Where does a malignant secret comes from? According to Roman Catholic theology, the 7 deadly sins are the 7 feelings that inspire further sins. They include pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth. It's only when you recognize that you're struggling with any of these urges that you can prevent yourself from acting on them, turning a vengeance secret into a malice secret. Why do people keep malignant secrets? 2 reasons. Guilt and shame, whether valid or not. Guilt is when you believe you've done something wrong. Shame, on the other hand, is felt when you worry that someone else will think badly of you. The more guilty or ashamed a secret makes you feel, the more likely you are to conceal it. How to stop living a double life when your secret is non-malignant. For many people, secrets like being gay, having been sexually abused as a child, or having an alcoholic parent can create a secret double life. 1. Become aware of why you're leading a double life. Well, don't do that. Where did it go? Okay. Become aware of why you're leading a double life. The secrets you unknowingly keep from yourself. A double life doesn't just include secrets we keep from others. It also includes secrets that we have kept from ourselves. Denial can go back as far as childhood. These are subconscious feelings that we don't want to know about or simply cannot access because we're out of touch with ourselves. They may manifest in dreams that we don't understand, painful emotions that surface every now and then, an overreaction to seemingly trivial incidents, slips of the tongue, fantasies that seem contrary to our character behavior that seems inexplicable, etc. Freud adopted the term unconsciousness. Freud was a psychologist or whatever. Freud adopted the term unconsciousness to describe absent yet feeling thoughts, urges, memories, and motivations. While we may not understand where the unconscious manifestation came from, we instinctively know that we need to tighten up security. Until you make unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it faith. Self-awareness. The first step to stopping living a double life is awareness. You may believe that you are well aware of the secret life you have, but as long as it manifests in self-sabotaging behaviors and slips, there's a lot more to uncover. Acknowledge and accept. Closeted individuals, for example, often cannot acknowledge themselves, let alone to others, their homoerotic attractions. 2. Recognize unhealthy guilt and shame. Feelings of guilt and shame fuel secrecy and motivate us to hide. However, those feelings may not be valid or accurate, especially when your secret is not malignant. Unhealthy guilt and shame are disproportionate, misplaced, and irrational. 1. Unhealthy guilt. This is where you feel that you've done something wrong when you didn't really or have no actual control over the situation. This guilt doesn't help anyone because you can't control the circumstances of the situation. For example, a victim of a sexual abuse may feel guilty that the abuse happened when there's nothing could have done differently back then. 2. Unhealthy shame, where guilt is the feeling that you've made a mistake. Unhealthy or toxic shame is the feeling that you are the mistake. 3. Identify your negative thoughts. Feeling of shame and guilt mainly triggered by our thinking patterns. The more mindful you are of feelings of guilt and shame, the more able you become at identifying negative thoughts behind those feelings. Perhaps you notice certain phrases constantly running through your head, such as something is wrong with me or am I defective? These beliefs come from somewhere, but they do not accurately represent reality. Start by making a list of negative thoughts and where they came from. For example, you may believe that being gay is wrong because this is the message you internalized from your parents. 4. Challenge your negative thoughts. Be realistic about what you can control. Make a list of what you can honestly control about the situation and the things you cannot control. If the second list is longer, your guilt and shame are likely irrational. 2. Consider the evidence for or against it. Use the following prompts to dispute your negative thoughts and refrain from them. Am I confusing a thought with a fact? Am I assuming that my view of things is the only one possible? Am I condemning myself as a total person on the basis of a single event? Am I blaming myself for something which is not really my fault? 5. Using affirmations. Challenging your negative thoughts alone is not enough. You need to replace them with positive, more rational alternatives. Using affirmations can help you here. For example, a victim of sexual abuse could not be an affirmation like, I did the best thing I could with the knowledge I had. 6. Treat yourself with kindness. Everyone has secrets. Everyone has. Even if it feels like you're alone in this, you're not. You're a human worthy of love, especially your own love. Mindfulness can also help promote self-compassion and loving feelings towards yourself. 7. Seek out supportive relationships, and they better be somebody you can trust. You damn near better have some dirt on them that they don't want to go, other than that you do. You might believe that vulnerability, speak to somebody professional, and he'll have time they ain't even right. Let me tell you about my client. You might believe that vulnerability is what will make you an easy target and get you rejected or hurt. And while it's naturally for you to play it safe and assume that everyone is dangerous, the strategy comes at a cost. You're missing out on intimacy, connection, and support of safe people. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. Allow yourself to pursue supportive relationships with people who care about your well-being. It may take plenty of support and compassion from loved ones, but patience and self-compassion can make this possible. 8. Like I just said, talk to a professional. Feelings of guilt and shame can be so pervasive that working through them alone can be daunting. A trained, compassionate therapist can offer guidance and support you as you become more self-aware and start facing your own secrets. If you want to learn more about challenging and refraining from negative thoughts, cognitive behavior therapy can be a good therapy approach. To find mental health care provider near you, call 1-800-662-HELP 4357, or you can use an online therapy. Can an emotional relationship that doesn't involve sex qualify as an affair? Yes, it can. So even if you ain't having sex and you just talking, that could still be an affair if it's not your partner. What constitutes an affair isn't necessarily the sexual relationship, but the secrecy. An exchange of secrets creates intimacy, and the intimacy may lead to sex or not. When the relationship is not sexual, but equally intimate, it constitutes as an emotional affair. Emotional affair signs. In general, signs you may be having an emotional affair may include keeping most conversations and meetings with this person secret from your partner. 2, sharing more intimate details about yourself and your life with your person than you do your partner. See, when I get married, I'll break my husband's neck backwards if another woman know what I ain't knowing. I never understood that about men. They rather act like they just normal to their wife and have all these freaky fantasies, but then get caught across town with Joe Blow at the hotel Motel 6 with roaches running everywhere, pumping backwards. And this is what they really want. They want to be tied up. They want an apple in their mouth. Why don't you tell your wife you want to be tied up and you want an apple in your mouth? Oh, because she ain't going for that type of shit, huh? Well, then that ain't your damn wife. There is a sexual attraction between two of you, spoken or unspoken. The thought that your partner might see you together or read your text make you feel guilty. How to end an affair. You ain't got to tell your wife because she might not be. Listen, my husband better tell me. Listen. Give me a shot at it. Whether you're on the brink of an affair or already in one, you can still step back. The first step to get out of denial. And then 2, I ain't going to read all this. 2, consider what is missing. Yeah. Okay, it's a long thing. But, so that was Double Life Part 2. So we was able to get in there and get a little research done. So I ain't mad at nobody. But, like I said, they said 70%, which, damn near every man I had. Yep. They ain't got to be on the big screen. They in front of your face. Double Life 2. Mwah.